in both business, in the Brawl, in all walks of life,
Yeah.
you've experienced a lot of adversity. You've had a lot of success. What was a time, and you've already brought up a few, but what's one that sticks out in your mind of a time where you got knocked down,
Yeah.
you got back up, and maybe in tough times, like in that fight or when something in the business sphere is really challenging you, what's something that you draw on? What's something in your past where it's like, hey, if I got through that, I can get through this.
Yeah. I know we already touched on SC excursions, but that's definitely a thing that I draw on, where I think some of the things that we got through with that, and that was my first real official business too, and we did it for 10 years. So I think that's the one that I really think about it and go, if I could get through that, I can get through this, whatever it is almost. And I've had moments where we built Big Sky from the ground up. We'd never done a restaurant with a kitchen. We'd never built anything. I mean, we've done remodels, but this was like structural steel, 2 stories, 6,000 square feet. And there were times where it was really crazy, and I would think about SC excursions and think, if I could do that, I can do this. And there's been a lot of moments. I mean, that second year was one, and realizing you've just done, thousands of hours of work for, literally, I think we skimmed out by cutting some things like a few $100s on that one trip at least. There's other times though, but it's kind of the whole starting of that. But I'll give you one example, which is we did a trip for some Georgia Tech students to Miami for the Orange Bowl. And this was a first like ACC or, out of conference team. And we took them down to this like really nice hotel, the Royal Seneca. They had no business being there. It was like Japanese soaking tubs, and they were like, chugging Fireball. But we got a deal on the whole thing, so we took it. And they're having a great time. We had a bar set up the night before. Everything's going fine. We get to the tailgate morning of early, and we're about halfway through setup. Everything's looking good, and these officials come out and they go, "You can't do this." And I said, "Well, we have the permission of this gas station next to it that owns the lot." And he's like, "Yeah, but you don't have the right permit." And I said, "Oh, we have the permit." He's here. He goes, "No, that's City of Miami. You're over the line of Coral Gables. You can't do the event." So I don't know how we got the permit, but they canceled it. They made us shut it down, and there was no finagling. There was no figuring it out. It was done. And the students, I think, were supposed to get there in like an hour and a half. So, I mean, like I said, failure is not, if there's a common thread, it's we're not necessarily the smartest guys in the room, but if failure is not an option, then, we said, where do we go from here? So we went and rented like a U-Haul, brought it out, Juan and I and whoever else we had, packed up the tents, everything into a U-Haul, took it to the stadium. They said, there's no tailgate parking here. We gave the guy a little cash, and he gave us like 6 RV spots or whatever it was. We set up the tent, we bummed the RV feed for the TV, paid that guy something to get it, got the caterer, paid for his passes to get in. And I think literally as the bus, we might have told him to like circle around once or something, but yeah, as the bus is pulled up and parked, we had it set up to where it looked, I mean, we were doing some finishing touches, but TVs are on, feed of the game was going, tent was up. And I mean, I don't think they even knew that they were, and this lot was it was actually closer to the stadium, so upgrade, but I don't think they knew that it was, potential disaster. A big part of what they paid for was about to be completely canceled. So, I mean, moments like that, just aside, that was year 3. So I think, I had already said, well, I panicked last time and we got through it, let me find the zen to just try and keep trying until it gets done. Those are the kind of things I draw on and say, like, if I could get through that, I should probably be able to get through this next thing.
Yeah, never give up mentality.
I guess so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it worked for Fire Festival, right?
That's a crazy documentary.